Good morning. I'm back with another part of my story. I'm going to talk about how I reconnected with my daughter after being estranged from her for, I don't know how many years was it. She was about 11 years old, 10, 11, I think, when everything happened. And when I reconnected with her, she was 28. So it's a long time. Let me stop this until I get past this thing. Okay, by that noise. So yes, I'm going to talk about how I reconnected with my daughter after all the years that we were estranged from alienation. It's so weird because, I didn't know what the reconnection would look like, and for a long time I even thought it would never happen because of how much time had passed. But out of nowhere one night, I was living in Niagara Falls, New York at this time. My phone rang in 2020. And it was my daughters, both of my daughters, my oldest daughter and my estranged daughter. They were on the phone. They had reconnected and called me on a three-way call. And it was, I thought I was dreaming for a moment, but, we talked, I don't think we didn't rehash anything from the past. I just let her know how, I was happy that she called me. I let her know that, I had prayed about this. And, it's been so long that I really don't honestly remember our conversation. I know my oldest daughter was the one who facilitated the call. And by the end of the conversation, I believe my oldest daughter hung up on both of us. And so the relationship with my oldest daughter is also very complicated, but I'm not going to talk about that just yet. I have to kind of get there. But so her and I continued just to communicate. She continued to call me. She sent me pictures. Just we kind of caught up in that way of everything that she had been doing while I wasn't in her life. She told me things about her brother, just, that kind of thing. And so I suggested to her, I said, let's go on a trip. Now, this is how everything gets so weird, because what I said is I wanted to come and visit. I wanted to visit Atlanta. I had never been here before. And I thought this would be a good opportunity to come to Atlanta, visit Atlanta for the first time. And then I get to bond with my daughter, who I haven't seen in years. So she was all down for it. So I was going to go and book the tickets. But when I called her to say something, I'm like, I'm booking the tickets. And I said Miami instead of Atlanta, because something else was happening in Miami. But when she heard me say Miami, she said, I'd actually prefer to go to Miami. So that's how I ended up booking us a trip to Miami for June of 2021. And this was during COVID-ish time. So Florida was the only place, I think one of the only places that was still that was open, that didn't have any COVID restrictions. And so I had a lawyer who wrote her a letter to get her over the border to come and see me. I did so many things to facilitate this vacation, and we made it happen. She flew from Toronto to Miami. I flew from Niagara Falls to Miami, and we met there. And the rest is history. That vacation she met her future husband anyway on that vacation. She has 2 children now, and one of those children her first daughter turned 3 yesterday. So that's why that vacation came to mind. I wanted to tell the story. There's so much more. I guess what I can say about that vacation is what I learned about my daughter was that when somebody strips away years and years away from you, that you actually lost something. Because what I lost was my daughter. I met another adult who kind of looked like me, who was like me in a lot of ways, but we didn't know each other. And that was the sad part about it. That was the part about it that was disheartening. I didn't know her. She didn't know me. She didn't see me as a mother. So a lot of the things that were happening during this vacation, it was making me cringe. It was making me say yikes inside. But I didn't want to make her feel uncomfortable, so I stayed quiet. But you could just tell that I didn't raise her. You can see it. And so that's the part about all of this that people don't understand, is the years that you spend apart, and for whatever reason that you decide to disengage, you have to be prepared for the fact that that is going to have a consequence and an effect. And for me, the effect and the consequence was that I didn't know my daughter anymore. She doesn't know me. She doesn't look at me as a mother. It was like two girlfriends on a vacation. And I mean, I was willing at this point to take anything, but I didn't like how it was making me feel. I did not enjoy that feeling. So I'm going to put that out there. Another thing that I noticed during that trip was that so she started out the conversation with me by saying that she totally agreed with her father keeping her away from me. She has justified that in her mind that was the right thing for him to do. And of course that hurt. That hurt. But my strategy in all of this is to never behave in the manner that he did. So I'm not going to talk bad about him to her, even though I have my feelings about him. That's still her father, and she can judge him on her own. I'm not going to influence that. But, he taught her to hate me. He taught her to disrespect me. I mean, number one thing is that all of my children call me by my first name. Except for my daughter, my youngest daughter calls me mom. But my other children, they all call me by my first name. I didn't teach them that. Somebody else taught them to do that to me. And, as I get older, the sound of it, just the sound of my name coming out of their mouth makes me sick. So I've chosen to stay away until they learn how to respect me. And that may not ever happen, but I've come to terms with it. And I have a replacement. I have my youngest daughter who loves me and who respects me. She calls me mom. She gives me hugs when I'm sad, and she's there for me wholeheartedly. She loves me. So I'm going to just take that. I'll take that. I'd rather that than to deal with hurt and shame and all the other feelings that come along with navigating alienated relationships and having to try to prove yourself to people who are committed to misunderstanding you. Anyway, that was it. I had a little bit more to say, but I don't know. I'm not in the mood right now. Maybe I'll come back later. But thank you for watching. Enjoy the rest of your day. If you're navigating parental alienation, I see you, I hear you, and I'm just sharing some of the things that I went through while going through it. Have a great day.